is Reality Stitches,
where reality TV meets cross stitch.
My name is Barbara Johns, otherwise known as Stitching with Grammy.
And I am Neil.
Yay! How you doing, Neil?
I am doing great, Barbara. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I know I'm so excited. When this idea first came to us, I was like, let's do it. Because, there's true crime podcasts that have, ties with cross stitch, but there's not reality TV. And we need to bring the reality recaps to the people who love to stitch.
It is true. Reality television is my life. It is my obsession. I eat, sleep, breathe it. So it's all I want to talk about, Barbara. So I am excited to be doing that with you. Someone who also equally loves reality television. And cross.
I can't tell you if I watch more reality TV or floss tube, but I think at this time of year with the new Big Brother, that's what I'm watching. And Love Island, of course, whole bunch of, good shows that are on during the summer that I have got to watch.
Yeah. And for those non-cross stitchers that may be listening to us, FlossTube is our YouTube community for cross stitchers. So we're definitely going to be talking a lot about FlossTube as well. And so, yeah.
So if you're not a cross stitcher and you want to join us in that area as well, feel free to join in because everyone needs a little bit of cross stitch in their lives, right, Neil?
Yeah, it's not a grandma hobby anymore.
Not all.
It's an every person, everybody, any age hobby. So just like reality television. Well, I mean, I guess reality television is maybe a little more mature, but cross stitch is for everyone.
For everyone. All right. So what should we go into who we are?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a bit about myself. My name is Neil. I use he, him pronouns. I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin currently. But I've lived a couple other places. I lived in Denver for a really long time. And yeah, what about you, Barbara?
I am Barbara Johns, Stitching with Grammy in the YouTube/FlossTube community. I am from a little town just south of Lansing, Michigan called Eaton Rapids, and it's the only Eaton Rapids on Earth. We have that little distinction, and we have a sign to show that. I went to high school here, graduated. I raised my kids here. But my dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot, and my ex-husband was Navy. So we came home, I think, when I was in 7th grade to get established roots here in Eaton Rapids, right in the middle of the mitten. Boop.
That's a perfect way to describe it. I love that. And so people may be wondering how you and I met. And if you haven't figured out by now, we may know each other from cross stitching.
Yay!
Barbara and I met a few years ago. We went to or several years, we've gone to a stitching retreat in Cincinnati called StitchCon. And we just met a few years ago. And so we've just seen each other at the retreat over the years. And then this year we really got into some reality television conversations.
We sure did. Why don't you tell them how reality TV started at this year's StitchCon? What got you guys going, and how did this topic get brought up to us?
Yeah, so a few of my friends, we are really big Survivor fans. And so the Survivor card game came out this spring, and we were all going to be at StitchCon together, and we were like, we have to play the Survivor card game. We must do this. And so somebody bought it, and there is a late night stitching room where people go to stitch after the day of the conference. And we decided we'd play it in there. So there was just 4 of us playing, but there was a few people just kind of stitching, at our tables with us. And it just, I don't know, whoever's listening, if you've played the game or seen it played, but it's kind of involved. And it's kind of noisy, and you've got to talk like you're at a final tribal. You've got to like state your case, and so it just got like progressively like more, I don't know, it's not overwhelming, but like encompassing of the room, I think. What was your experience with it, Barbara?
Well, we were sitting over at another table, just stitching away in our pajamas, because that's what you do in the late night stitchy room. Everyone's comfortable, but we keep hearing this pounding on the table. And I'm like, what are they doing over there? And so one of the gals that was just watching them happened to come over to our table to chat for a little bit. And I asked her, what are they doing? And as soon as she said they're playing the Survivor board game, I was like, yes, I remember Jeff Probst talking about this. So I went over. Then the rest of my table, we all came over and circled them and watched them play the last couple rounds till their final tribal council. It was so exciting.
It was so fun. And we ended up technically in the game, you know, we had the 4 people and like 2 people made up our final jury, but they tied. So we ended up opening the votes to the people left in the room. And so like a group of like 15 of us finished the game and voted for the final 2, and it was incredible. We're going to have a video at the very end of this podcast, or YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, to show us counting the votes. It was exhilarating.
It was so fun. And it was episode 1. So I'm hoping that this is going to be an annual thing at StitchCon Weekend B, that we're going to be playing some Survivor board games or whatever else that, you know, ties into our reality TV obsession. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I hope so. And so the very next day, Barbara and I, you know, ran into each other and we were like, I love Survivor. I love Survivor. I love this reality TV show. I love that reality TV show. And then we were like, we should start a podcast.
Yeah. So here we are. Here we are. And we were trying to throw names around. And I mean, we're at a stitching conference. So it's reality TV and it's cross stitch. So that is how we came up with Reality Stitches. So we want to welcome you and hope you that you join us and follow us and continue on our journey with mixing reality TV and cross stitch together.
Yeah. I'm so excited. We're hoping to, you know, do some casual commentating on different reality shows. We're going to start with Big Brother, and then we also hope to do some stitching show and tell for everyone to talk about what we're working on, what we've started or what we've finished recently. Because we want to talk about and share both of our loves. So
Exactly. So if you are watching us on YouTube and you're here for the reality, stick around at the end because we're going to be showing some cross stitch. And hopefully you're here for cross stitch as well, and you're going to enjoy all of our commentary on reality TV because we want you to be as excited about it as we are. So, tell me a personal fun fact about you, Neil.
well, I was trying to think of one that kind of related to reality television, and this is maybe the best one I've got. Do you know the app Cameo, Barbara?
No, I've never heard of it.
So it is just like it's an app where you can not like order, but I guess order like a video from like different stars. So there's television stars, reality television stars, um, you know, musicians, comedians, YouTube stars, all these different personalities that you can go and you can like order a pep talk or a happy birthday video,
Oh,
or
that's cool.
it's very cool. And, you know, sometimes people are like, can you break up with this person for me?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
It's,
gosh, that's so funny.
yeah, you can get, you know, you can order all sorts of things for these personalities to send you back on video. So I've done it multiple times with many different people, but my latest one was I like hopped on the train during this last Trader season, and Carolyn, I believe her last name is pronounced Weiger. that may not be right, but Carolyn from Survivor season 44 and the
Yeah.
Traitors was like number 5 on Cameo. And she was sharing all of them on Instagram. And so, y'all, I bought a Cameo from Carolyn and it was 12 minutes long.
Oh
And
gosh.
it was incredible. And she was just so fun and so nice and like talked about so many cool things. But she is also just like, she's like me. I think she must have ADHD. I mean, not. I mean, I relate to like her kind of sporadicness, you know. And she was just so funny. Like in the middle of a sentence, she was like, "I think I shaved half my eyebrow off," and she
Oh
was like, "Oh well," and then kept
my
going. So, I don't know if that's a fun fact, but I love Cameo, and I imagine that I will probably order many a Cameo while doing this podcast.
that would be cool. If they could I mean it would be like that we're offering them a cameo on our podcast, right? So we
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool. So a fun fact for me about reality TV is that I am on a weight loss journey and I've been doing really well, but I said, and I'm almost there. When I hit 100 pounds gone, I'm applying with my BFF here in Michigan to go on the CBS show Amazing Race. And I'm
Yeah.
almost there and I'm going to apply. That would be so awesome. So that's my fun fact.
Yeah.
So hopefully, as we continue on with this podcast, part of it will be Neil carrying on the podcast while I'm on the show. So that would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to be covering that one, Barbara. We're going to be your biggest supporters, biggest fans.
That'll be awesome.
I yeah, I'm so happy for you on your journey. And we had great fun facts. We're such interesting people. I love this for us.
Started. This is just episode 1. People, stay on, subscribe, do all the things.
Yeah. So we're going to start covering Big Brother, and we decided this for a couple of reasons. Mostly because Barbara loves Big Brother, and I've never seen it. So that's kind of our dynamic going into this first one.
Right. So I've been watching Big Brother since it came out. We're in season, 27, 28, something like that. They started a celebrity Big Brother a few years ago that they usually do that in the winter time. I think a couple years ago there was a writer's strike. And so I think that's when it started to get the celebrities to be there in the wintertime. And then this one's always on in the summer. But I've been watching it since day one. And you can go back on Paramount Plus and watch older seasons if you want. If you're not familiar with Big Brother either, as we get, talking about it and do our recaps of this season, if you want to go get caught up, because, and I'm going to jump right in, you don't know who Rachel is. Rachel's the guest that came down the stairway on the first. You'll find out who Rachel is. You will find out. So anyway, that's kind of how we decided to start our journey on this podcast, is by getting Neil's first time viewer perception of Big Brother. So, are we ready to get into that?
I am ready. I have what it takes, I think, to be a big fan.
Okay. So,
I love a show that offers multiple episodes a week.
yeah,
I think that goes well with my personality. So,
right. So, Big Brother,
that
it
is a
started
thing.
Yeah, it started last night for their first episode. You get to meet the house guests and you get to find out a little bit about their backgrounds and how they got selected. And then there's usually some type of competition to get the first head of household. So going forward, if for those of you that aren't familiar with Big Brother, first of all, what's your problem? Go watch it. Second of all, there is usually an episode on Thursdays, on Sundays, and then Wednesdays, right? Did I get the days right? Because they've changed them around so many times throughout the year. Usually the first one has head of household, and the next one is the nominations, and then the next one is the veto competition. So there's a lot that goes on during the week. So what Neil and I thought we would do is come to you once a week with our recap of Big Brother starting out, because that's pretty much the one show that's on right now. And then again, he's got that new viewer perspective going into it. So that's kind of what our thoughts are for this little podcast we got going on.
Yes, I have no idea what's going on. Head of household, vetoes, nominations. It sounds incredible. I'm so excited about it. It reminds me of the first time I watched Survivor. I had no idea what was happening. And it was like the middle of a season too. So the person I was watching with had to keep pausing and telling me what was happening. So I think I'll probably be asking a lot of questions.
Yep.
But
just put me on speed dial. Call me during the show. Oh no, we have to do a veto competition so we know who's going to be on the block for Thursday eviction night. So it's
block
a
eviction.
yeah, it's a fast show that moves quickly, and then like Survivor, they have a jury at the end, and then the final vote is you're going to vote for who you want to be the winner, or on Survivor, the sole survivor. So it's kind of the same concept, only they're locked in the house with over 100 cameras and 100 microphones following each and every one of their moves and conversations. So this year, the theme is kind of like mysteries. So they got mysteries going on. So last year, the theme was more artificial intelligence. They had like a little robot thing that they had to, figure out what she was doing. I can't even remember her name. But this year, it's like a mystery, and there's a person giving clues, and it's going. It started, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I am so excited about it. So that is what we're doing for Big Brother. I am seriously so excited. And we we'll probably be doing some other shows in the future. We're going to see what the people want as well, if there's any shows that people who are listening really like. In my I was going to say in my off time. From what? I am only watching reality television. It is my on time to be. I love to watch The Traitors. I think both of us are finishing our 6-week journey on Love Island. Love Island finishes this weekend.
Who's your pick on Love Island? Who do you want? Who's your front runners? Who do you want to win that?
Oof, I don't know. I really like Amaya as well as America. America really likes Amaya.
Right. Really turn and come up.
I think her and Brian are probably going to win. I honestly really like all of them at this point. So, it's just wild that I guess like Shelly and Ace are closed off, but everybody else isn't. So it's like,
right. And I
what a wild final.
If Huda doesn't let Chris talk to her and get his feelings out and not cut him off every sentence, they're gonna go to Splitsville in a fast track, because he's she's making him frustrated, and she just needs to listen.
Yeah, she does.
People, how they listen to respond instead of listen to understand. And Huda needs to zip it and listen to what he's saying, because they're really kind of saying the same thing, only they're not hearing each other. So
right.
That's my 2 cents about them. But I think you're right. I think Brian and Amaya are going to win.
Yeah.
And
it's so I spoke to my therapist about it today, because him and his wife are locked in on Love Island.
Oh.
They love it. And so we spoke about several of the couples today before I left, and it was just so fun, because he's like, it's very hard for me as a therapist to watch these reality shows, because
sure.
He's
He
like,
was
I just,
he was probably screaming at the TV, "Let him talk. Let him
yeah,
talk." I know.
he was like, Aida is my client, you know?
Oh,
He
yes.
was like,
But
I've seen these patterns before.
yeah. What are some other shows that you like?
Well, obviously Survivor. Love Survivor. I'm also a big RuPaul's Drag Race guy. I also love Project Runway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette. Love all of those. Then we get into like the Netflix, universe. Love is Blind.
Oh
The
yeah.
Ultimatum, Queer Love, The Ultimatum.
The
You know,
Circle. The
yeah,
Circle.
the Circle. Yeah, I mean, if
There's so many.
love them all.
There's so many reality TV shows out there right now. There's the whole Bravo family of shows. Vanderpump Rules, The Valley, all the housewives of every city.
all the
I
all the
wish I
is.
really wish they would do a real housewives of reality life, not, women that are rich and have all these things. Let's do some real housewives, the reality, not the big money people. And, but people wouldn't watch that probably because
Yeah,
that's their life. They don't want to see their life. They want to see the rich and famous. So
you're right.
I guess Owen has his, stuff together. Another one that I thought was interesting, and I think they have the second season going now, is The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Now that one was really interesting, and how they started as TikTok. When COVID hit, that's pretty much everybody's entertainment was TikTok. I don't know if you got into it then, but that's kind of when I got into it, and I saw those moms, and it's just a group of moms from out in Utah that started making TikTok dances, and it progressed to some scandals and made real good reality TV. So if you haven't watched that, go check that out too.
Yeah, the age-old question: will Mom Talk survive this?
Right, right. It's
Yeah, season 3 of that will be coming out this fall.
oh,
So,
I just saw the first season. I guess I better get caught up. And,
oh yeah, season 2 dropped earlier this spring, and then season 3 is coming out in like September, maybe. So,
yeah.
um,
So have you watched any of like the challenge? Have you watched that?
I haven't watched the challenge. I only know some of those players from the Traders or like House of Villains. Some of them are on that
Oh
show as
yeah,
well.
House of Villains. That's a good one too. Well,
Yeah.
the challenge started way back in the day. We're gonna get into like how reality TV really started. And I don't know if everyone is on this same thought process, but the real world back in the day when a group of strangers lived in a house in New York City, that's how reality TV in my mind started, was with the real world way back when on MTV. And so then MTV also then started doing road rules, which was they put 6 or 7 people in a camper, like a Winnebago motorhome, and sent them on their merry way. And it was the reality show about them living together in this on the road. And so the challenge came up as reality or real world and road rules, their competitions. Well, now
Right.
since they're all owned by CBS pretty much, that if you're on one of these CBS shows, chances are you're going to be on the challenge. They pull people from all sorts. Are You the One? um oh, I can't even think of all the ones. They come from Big Brother, they come from Survivor, they come from all different genres of reality into this show called The Challenge, which is more physical. And it's, the prize is money. There's a guy winner and a girl winner, and it's a lot. It's a lot. That season starts very soon as well. The challenge is going to be on, and I haven't seen the cast of that to see who's going to be on it, but I think that starts in, I want to say towards the end of the month, or maybe in August, September, something like that. So that's another one to watch, the challenge.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got a good idea of what we're doing, where we're going. And for our listeners, I think we're going to talk a little bit about our cross stitch now.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening on a podcast, then we can describe our cross stitch to you, but we will be showing it. So if you're on video, you'll be able to see this.
So
And
let me ask you something, Neil. I'm
yeah,
new to the podcast world. I don't really even listen to a whole lot of podcasts. But on our floss tubes or our YouTube videos, there's a place people can put comments. Can they put comments in podcasts as well?
they can. Yeah, at least on
Awesome.
Spotify where I listen, you can add comments. So
Okay, so if you are a podcast listener and you're not on where you can see our pretty faces on a video, go ahead and in the comments leave your favorite reality show or one that we haven't talked about. Maybe there's one we don't know about or we didn't mention. Leave in the comments your favorite. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe or follow or whatever you do on podcasts.
yes, our handles everywhere is Reality Stitches Pod. So follow us on TikTok and Instagram and the YouTube and follow us
Everywhere.
all the places.
All
And
the
if you want
places.
to email us, you can email us at realitystitchespod as well if you'd like to submit some feedback or some, reality TV suggestions.
Yes. And this is just, we just talked about this in the third week of June. And so we're just putting this together on Big Brother's timeline. So I'm going to get updated equipment and get a little bit better. I'm sitting in front of my sewing machine right now. So I want to get, more comfortable area, like maybe filming my lazy boy, because that's what I sit in to watch reality TV when I'm stitching. So anyway, this is just us starting. So I hope that you follow us and do all the things and keep up with us in our journey, but make sure you let us know what you want to hear us talk about. In addition to our reality recovery recap of Big Brother.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's what are we gonna do next episode?
I think next episode we'll do the first week of Big Brother recap. So that'll be a big one.
Yes, and if you guys have any questions that you put in the comments or emails or whatever, we'll go over those questions too. If you got questions for us, we can go and address those questions and let you know the answers to those questions. If you want to go into stitching now, we can do that. If you are just going to jump off because of you're only on a podcast, we welcome you to stick around and listen to us. But if not, we hope to see you next time on episode 2 of Reality Stitches. What have you been stitching on, Neil?
So I have been stitching on something that I actually designed myself.
Yes.
I have a friend who is a tattoo artist who has done tattoos for me, and she commissioned me to make something for her. I don't have a picture, unfortunately, of what it's supposed to look like because my iPad died, but I can show you what I've done so far.
Yay!
So this is the larger version. And then I'll go in. So there's like a heart stripe down the side. And then the big piece is a tattoo cartridge, like an ink cartridge for the tattoo gun.
Nice. I was thinking it was a spool of thread, but now that makes sense.
Yeah. And so like I haven't filled in the needles that will go in between those two black lines.
Gotcha.
And then I've started the words here at the bottom. That's the beginning of an American traditional W.
Nice. So what is that fabric that you're stitching it on?
Oh, I know. Can you see the shimmer?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's beautiful.
Yes, this is a opalescent 32 count Lugana of some sort.
Gotcha. It's beautiful. It is
Thank
awesome.
you.
So, do you have any like finishes or any starts?
I don't, Barbara.
Okay. Well,
What have
I
you been on though?
what's that?
I said, what have you been working on though?
Well, let me show you. Before the StitchCon, which is our big huge retreat we do every summer, I went to a smaller retreat called the Farm Girl Gathering in Amana, Iowa. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Amana colonies. If you're not, Google it. It is so amazing. It's a group of German people who have settled here way back in the day, and it was like a self-sufficient colony. They had blacksmiths and all sorts of people to take care of their needs, butchers and medical, whatever. Anyway, it was the prairie settlers as they were going, and this was a group of prairie people from Germany. So, Brenda Gervais, for those of you who are reality fans and not necessarily cross stitch fans, may not know who she is, but she's a very wonderful, beautifully talented designer in cross stitch, and she did this beautiful stitch called Stay True. And
It
this
is
was
beautiful.
our gift from her, and it had everything in there, and it was stitched on oh, now it's just escaping me. Winter Brew by R&R Reproductions. And most of the kits, when you go to a retreat and you get a kit, most of them have 36 count. And your girl does not do 36 count because I struggle. One strand I feel is not enough, and two strands is too much. So I like 40 and 46 count. 46 is my sweet spot. So Michelle Rudy, who is Farm Girl Dry Goods, she had a little pop-up shop, so they had 40 count. So I don't usually start the projects at the retreats, but this one I did because the model was so beautiful. So this is where I am on that so far.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
so beautiful. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And I just can't wait. I want to keep going on that. And as a gift from Michelle, everybody who attended got a bag. Let me pull this pattern out so I don't show you. Got a project bag from Denise. Where's my camera? At Dot Dot Goose. Where's her? This. Okay. I'm not used to filming on my phone, as you can tell. So anyway, this is the project bag that we got. It's Denise from Dot Dot Goose. She does the vinyl front bags. So we all got one of those. The kit was fully kitted fabric, all the beautiful floss and the pattern. And so that's what I've been working on. I want to get it done ASAP because it's so beautiful. However,
Thank
I got to start. I did start on the 4th of July. 4th of July rules by our girls at Primrose Cottage. If you're familiar with those girls, there's 3 or 4 sisters and their mom. They're out in Utah, and they're not on The Secret Life of a Mormon's Wife. They're not on that show. But they did just open a brick and mortar LNS, and I'm so excited for them. I'm very happy. I saw their video. Thursday was their grand opening, and they're going to do amazing things. I met those girls at Market the first year they went, and they're so sweet. All of them are so sweet. So anyway, this is 4th of July rules, and I started that. I'm using a 46 count Bristol linen. The color is Bungalow by Forbidden Fiber Co. And there's their little logo. And this is how much I got done. Not a ton, but
Oh, but that's cute.
I got a couple of the colors going. And this is in one of the project bags that I made. I do some vinyl front, but most of what I do now are the fabric, fully lined fabric ones.
Oh, I
So
love that.
I'll have Neil post all my information down if you want to do that. And anybody else that we talk about, I'd like to, put them down in our description if that's what they're calling it on the podcast and whatever. And so I'm just going to show you one. I have 4 little pillows that I finished, but talking about Brenda Gervais again, this is one of her Easter patterns, and I finished it to take to the brag table at StitchCon. And there's my little bunny with the little chickadees. And then I
Oh, it's so
finished
cute.
it. I put some chenille trim around it. And then I put my little logo and a little button on some, a pin, and then felt to cover the seam where I open it to fill it. And it's pretty hefty because I use crushed walnut shells and polyfill in it. So it's pretty hefty. So I just wanted to show one of my finishes. I have several.
It is very cute.
Thank you. So that's kind of what we plan on doing every episode. Is just showing a few of, what we've been stitching on, because after all, it is reality stitches, right? But I have a floss tube and Neil has a floss tube. And so we're not going to show you everything, but we got to show you something, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have something new to show related to stitching on each episode that we talk about all these wonderful reality shows. So,
Yeah.
what do you
Love
think?
it.
Awesome.
Great. Well, we've already told everyone where to find us. Again, Reality Stitches Pod is our handle on everything. And I think I don't have anything else to share today except for I can't wait for our next episode. And I cannot wait to dive into Big Brother.
I know it. It's going to be so cool for you to, get the whole overview of what each week will bring. And, every week it's different. You're going to have your favorites, just like Survivor. You're going to pick a favorite, and then darn if they don't get nominated and get evicted. So it's really cool. It's different because there's cameras everywhere. Obviously not when they go to the restroom, but everywhere else there are cameras. There's no hiding place in the Big Brother house. It's so fun. You're going to love it, Neil. You're going to love it.
I'm so excited. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us today. This is Reality Stitches, and keep your stitches tight.
And your alliance is tighter. Bye, everybody.
Bye.